Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick book review for the Kaiju Preservation Society. This is going to be a quick book review. This is going to be spoiler free because there's really not that many spoilers except the very end. So, and I feel like it wasn't even really the point of the book. So we're going to keep it spoiler free. So this is going to just be a quick recap of basic plot, my thoughts, and who I think this book is for, because I was a little bit confused who this book was for when I started it. So, let's get started. The Kaiju Preservation Society is an adventure story about our main character. The Kaiju Preservation Society is an adventure story following our main character, Jamie, who has just lost his job ahead of the oncoming COVID-19 pandemic. Now, before you hear that, no, this is not a COVID-19 book. I originally did not pick this up because I thought it was going to be about COVID-19, and I'm not ready to read about that in a book, but it is not. It is very briefly brought up and as kind of like why he lost his job, and that's pretty much it. So don't worry about that being a main staple of the plot. It is not. So Jamie loses his job and needs to find a new job quickly because he is living in the very expensive New York City, and he also has two roommates who also are having an issue with income, so he needs to find a good job and fast. Luckily for him, he reconnects with someone from his past and is offered a job on the spot as kind of like a handyman, heavy lifter type person on this job. He is told absolutely nothing about this job other than that it's going to be kind of like wildlife preservation kind of stuff, and Jamie happily agrees, especially because of how much they're paying him. His friend tells him he will be at an undisclosed location for 3 months where they're going to be doing heavy-duty research, and they'll be enmeshed in all sorts of interesting wildlife situations. It is quickly revealed that while they are dealing with a lot of wildlife, it is not wildlife from the United States. It is not wildlife from anywhere on this planet. They are taken to a parallel kind of universe where kaiju are the main form of wildlife and all sorts of other creatures that want to eat you. Jamie quickly gets involved in the preservation of these apex predators and takes to his job with wild abandon. This is an interesting book. I originally thought this was going to be more like Jurassic Park. So I had just finished Jurassic Park and I was kind of wanting to read something similar to it. And this had been on my radar for a couple months. Like I think I saw it being promoted on Instagram a couple months ago that it was coming out, and I was like, oh, this seems really cool. What drew me to it was the cover. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a close-up of the cover if you don't know what it looks like. I adore this cover. I also thought it was going to be horror. I thought it was going to be action horror, kind of like Jurassic Park. I know a lot of people are on the fence about if Jurassic Park is horror or action or adventure, but there is a little bit of scariness in that one. There's no tension, no scare, nothing in this book like that. So when I started reading it, I was very confused because it comes off actually more comedy adventure than anything else. Like, it's definitely leans more on the comedy than on any type of thriller or horror. So if you go into this thinking it's horror, don't. You're going to be sorely disappointed. Luckily, I was able to kind of shift gears pretty quickly, and I was like, okay, get Jurassic Park out of your head. This is something completely different. So as long as you were able to adjust, I think you'll enjoy this. I think it has pretty good ratings on Goodreads. I personally gave it a 3.75, and most of my deductions actually come from the writing. So if you aren't bothered as much by writing as certain people are, you'll probably enjoy this more. I just got really sick of hearing the same joke over and over again. There's one joke that the main character makes 3,000 times in this book, and I was so sick of hearing it that that's where most of my points were deducted for that. It is a very fun and quick read. It's pretty short. I believe it's under 300 pages. Yeah, it's like 260 pages. So it is super quick. It's very fun. even if some of the writing can be a little annoying. Some of the other points I took off for is definitely I think this would have done better as a thriller slash horror. It was fun, but I don't know. I was expecting a lot more from this book, which probably is just it's on me. I should have realized it was more comedy adventure, but I think it would have been really cool with more tension. Even for comedy adventure, I still think it could have used a little more tension in the book. Also, you really don't get involved in the world that much. So even though it takes place in this parallel world, you don't interact with the creatures that much, which I think is unfortunate because everything's too dangerous. So they don't go exploring in the woods or in the jungle. They don't go out and actually do like the researching. There's a few moments of kind of research, which are supposed to be like the tension parts, which I really didn't feel any tension. So I wish there just had been more interaction with like the planet. I actually felt like most of the time I feel like books could be shorter. I actually felt like this book could have been longer. You could have expanded on the world more. Like I wanted to know more. The world was so unique. I just wanted to know more and see more in the world. Also, don't go into this with any preconceived notions of the kaiju. If you watch like Pacific Rim or are thinking like Godzilla-esque creatures, they are completely different than anything else. Like, I don't know where he got his idea for kaiju, but they are left field completely different. So going into this, make sure you don't think about kaiju the way you might be thinking of them already if you have like a thought in your head about them. They are completely different. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I wanted more from this book. I thought it was fun. The characters were fun. It's just fun. And I think because I read Jurassic Park, which was a little deeper, I just wanted to go in a little deeper into this book. But generally, if you want a fun, quick read, more adventure, funny, I would pick this up. It's not horror thriller. It's not horror thriller. Keep that in mind. Yeah, so that's pretty much all my thoughts on this book because it was such a light read. There's really not that much to go into. It is a standalone book, so if you just want a quick standalone book to read, this is perfect. Other than that, I hope you enjoy the book if you decide to pick it up. So yeah, comment down below on what you thought about this book, whether you liked it, didn't like it. Would you have liked to see something else in this book? Did you think it was perfect? But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this book. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.